Good evening to all of you. So my name is Dr. Ankit and I've completed my PhD from IIT Bombay. And I'm going to conduct your webinar for today, right? So in today's session, the agenda which we are going to cover is, we'll start with what is ChatGPT. We'll understand why there is so much halla around ChatGPT, right? There are discussions going on in terms of whether ChatGPT will take up the work done by developers today. A lot of jobs will be redundant post ChatGPT. We'll try to understand these aspects once we go through the introduction of ChatGPT. We'll also understand how ChatGPT works, right? What is the model behind it? How that model was created? Who owns that model? So on and so forth. Post that, we'll try to understand. So there are one more framework called Codex. So Codex and ChatGPT both are technologies developed by an organization named OpenAI. We'll try to understand how both of them can be leveraged by developers and what are the pros and cons of each. Post that, we'll go to some hands-on session where I'll try to explain how you can use the ChatGPT module. We'll try to use examples to explain you how ChatGPT can be used for programming. We'll take up some examples for shell scripting. In Python programming, we'll see whether we can also look into, as a developer, learn more about Python programming using ChatGPT. Apart from it helping us to write code, can it explain us code? Can it give us good reference material to understand code? We'll try to understand that. We'll try to ask ChatGPT to create for us some complex image processing, examples using Python. We'll try to understand how successful ChatGPT is on that. Later, we may also take up some examples on HTML and CSS coding, where we'll try to customize or create a website using HTML and CSS coding. And we can see with examples whether ChatGPT gives us some leverage in terms of, writing codes for HTML and CSS coding. Ultimately, we may end up with some examples on JavaScript also. A lot of developers do use that. We'll try to understand ChatGPT's capability on the same. So I hope the agenda of the class is clear to all of you. So let us now start with the technical discussion on what is ChatGPT. Let us all understand what is ChatGPT. So just to give you all an idea, there is an organization which is named OpenAI. The name of the organization is OpenAI. Let me show you what is OpenAI. So if you go to the website of OpenAI, so OpenAI is a research-based organization. Okay. OpenAI is a research-based organization. If you go into the company's about, you'll understand that it's a research and deployment company. And it was started with the mission of creating cutting-edge artificial intelligence models, which can be utilized by various, human mankind for free. So the mission was that, AI should not be in the hands of only few like Google, Meta, Amazon's. They should be all the general janta should be able to use it. Cutting edge AI technologies. And that is where OpenAI was developed. It started around 2015. In fact, you may have heard about, there was a controversy between OpenAI and Elon Musk. So Elon Musk actually had donated $100 million for this organization, right? In 2017 around. So if you see here, now Elon Musk claims that he donated $100 million. There are reports which says that he did not, but anyways, there was a lot of interest around OpenAI. Okay. Recently, why Elon Musk got perturbed was OpenAI was started with the mission of non-profit organization, but recently Microsoft bought 51% stake in the organization by paying some say in some reports $13 billion to OpenAI. So essentially, this company is now majority holded by Microsoft, right? So this is the background behind OpenAI. Now, OpenAI has developed products, and there are three major products it has developed. I will say one is ChatGPT, the other is DALL-E, and the third one is Whisper. There are more products, but these are the three major ones. ChatGPT is what we refer to ChatGPT 4. DALL-E, the version right now going on is 2, and Whisper is in its initial stages. So ChatGPT is a generative AI model. All of you, the keyword here is what? Generative AI model. It can generate, unlike other AI models which gets trained on data. ChatGPT is a powerful technology which can create data for you, which can, understand the context of your questions and try to answer in that form. So it is a generative AI which can process intelligently text data. Okay. And what is it trained on? It is trained on virtually the whole of internet. Virtually the whole of internet. So it has learned all the books, articles, right? Say GitHub codes or everything. It has learned from the internet. It has been trained from that, but it has learned it, but it has gone a step ahead. Now it can generate text based on its learning. Like human beings, right? We learn few things and then we start applying it, and using our imagination, we bring our own originality. Similarly, ChatGPT for the first time, when I say for the first time, successfully demonstrated that the generated text is a lot more powerful than what humans can also generate. Okay. So that is where a lot of discussion is going on, that if it is so powerful in generating new text, whether it will replace human in a lot of jobs. Okay. So in today's session, we will understand how ChatGPT can be utilized for generating technical code development for developers. ChatGPT is a powerful generative AI model. It has been developed by OpenAI, a company which has been in controversy recently. And ChatGPT 4 is the current version of model which it has released. Okay. Now, we can access the free version of ChatGPT, but there are some pricing models also present if you want to use it for your applications. Okay, so if you want to use it a lot, you can go for pricing models where you can pay money monthly or pay as per your use, and then it will give you additional benefits, like it will use the most latest model. It will also, give you priority in terms of not giving you access to the servers. Why I say this? I hope all of you know that it is the platform which has the highest speed of onboarding 100 million subscribers. So 100 million subscribers, within 2 months got onboarded or, signed up on their platform. It is much, much faster than what Facebook and, Google or YouTube has gone through. Similarly to ChatGPT 4, the other product of OpenAI is DALL-E 2, which is into image generation. I will not go into the details of it, but this model can be used for generating new images. Okay, it's a very powerful model. And there is a third product, which is Whisper, which is used for transcribing. So if you want to convert from one language to another, like how you have Google Translate, similar to that, we have something known as Whisper. Perfect. So we'll move ahead and now try to understand how it works. So there is a model which is running at its back end, right? There is a model which runs at the back end of ChatGPT 4. And that model is known as GPT-4. Okay, so there is a model which has been trained, as I said earlier, it has been trained on virtually the whole internet data. And that model is right now ChatGPT 4. So you may ask, when was what released? So that basically there were ChatGPT 1, GPT 2, GPT 3, and GPT 4, right? So GPT 4 was released around March 2023. GPT 3 was released around November 2022, right? This was released in 2018, and this was released in 2017. Okay, and ChatGPT 3 was demonstrated. Okay, it was demonstrated, not released, around 2020. But I think after that COVID hit, so I think they may have not released it. But November 22 is when they released the model for public consumption. Now, why I'm writing the year here, just to let you know that this development of ChatGPT is not a very recent phenomenon. I have been tracking it since 2019, but it has only become famous after 2022 release. Can anyone tell me why? Why it may have got viral after that? The reason is that this is the major model which worked like magic. For people, worked like magic in order to create new content or new data. What was happening before that? Before that, in ChatGPT 1, 2, they did release, but it was not very powerful. It was not very accurate. So for example, if you ask it to write a poem on, say, Sachin Tendulkar, maybe ChatGPT could not do that. GPT-3 could do that very well. It could understand the context of the human being much better. So ChatGPT-3 actually went viral because of that. So now you have understood what is ChatGPT. You have understood how it works, right? There are different models which has been released. Right now, the latest model is ChatGPT 4, and it has been trained on the whole internet data. And it uses, if I have to go into the data science part of it, it uses a technology or an architecture known as transformer neural network. So it uses this architecture in order to train the data. So I'll not go into the research part of it, but this research has been going since long, and now transformer neural networks are what it is utilizing in order to train the data. And that neural network is creating or generating new text data, which is very, very superior in much aspects to humans. Okay. Now there is another product, Codex, okay, which has been trained only on codes. Like, so it has been trained, say, on GitHub code repositories, right? All the code repositories it has been trained on. So it is specialized for writing codes. Compared to GPT-4, which is trained on variety of data, which has been trained on variety of data. Okay. So the difference between them is ChatGPT 4 is more generalized. It is not only for coding, but it is more generalized. It understands the domain, right? And the best part about ChatGPT 4, you will understand it when you use it or when I show the demo. It understands the context. So whatever we ask it to develop, it understands the context much better than Codex. Okay, because it has been trained on so much data other than just coding. It has much more generalization inside it than these Codex model. Okay. Okay. So in technical terms, we call that ChatGPT 4 is more conversational, whereas Codex is more for code generation. So you can utilize Codex for code generation also. GPT-4 is more conversational. It has been trained more than the Codex for code. It has been trained on various things. Therefore, you know, ChatGPT-4 is being utilized by a wider audience than Codex. Okay. So in today's session, what we will do is we will use ChatGPT in order to see how relevant it is, how relevant or strong it is in generating codes. Okay. So the first example we will take on is, obviously, there are a lot of limitations of ChatGPT. It may provide incorrect information. It may provide harmful or biased content. And it may have limited knowledge on current affairs. Why we say current affairs? Because maybe right now we are using on the GUI of OpenAI platform, we are using a module which uses ChatGPT 3.5 on the so OpenAI itself is serving right now ChatGPT 3.5, and that model has been trained, it seems, up to the data of year 2021. So the latest data may not be available with the ChatGPT model. It will have to be retrained for the latest data. That is one of the limitations of ChatGPT in terms of current affairs. So now, how to use ChatGPT? So ChatGPT can be utilized. As I said, you have to go to the OpenAI website. All of you, you will have to sign up here. I've already signed up. So what I will do, I will log in here. And as soon as I log in, it asks me whether you want to use ChatGPT, which I said is the product which it has released, or the technology which it has released in order to generate text data. DALL-E creates realistic images and art from description of natural language. So DALL-E is something related to image processing, and API integrates OpenAI model into your application or business. So all of you, you need to understand that various APIs of these two are being utilized by business. The other thing I wanted to show you all was, this is how you log in. As I said, you just need to log in. I have already created my sign up here. It will ask you your phone number, etc. You'll have to enter that, send the ATP, and then you will get this kind of framework. So this is the ChatGPT module where I am going to interact with the machine by typing my message here, and it will go to the backend where it will be processed by the GPT models, and it will give back the results. So suppose I ask this module, hi, it replies by, this goes into the backend, into the generative AI model, and it comes back with the result. So it is asking you, hello, how can I assist you today? So I can say, I want to look at coding examples to understand the capability of OpenAI GPT, or let's put it ChatGPT. Suppose I write it this way. So whatever webinar we are doing, we are actually asking it that, okay, I want to look at coding examples to understand capability of OpenAI GPT. So it is saying that, okay, I can also provide with you some example to demonstrate the capabilities of OpenAI GPT. Please let me know what specific language or concept you would like to see an example, and I will do my best to assist you. So this is written by OpenAI. Okay. So let's look at some example how ChatGPT can be used for bash scripting. So for example, I can ask it very specifically. For example, I want to run a query where I say that write me a bash script, okay, that prompts for the URL of a YouTube video and then uses the YouTube DLP program to download from the URL. Okay. The script should change the name of the file name to myvideo.mp4. So all of you, please note here that I am asking it a very specific thing that, boss, I want to write a bash script that prompts for a URL of a YouTube video, and then using that program, it downloads from the URL. The script should change the name of the file name to myvideo.mp4. So this is the code we need to write, and generally we hire a a developer for it. Let's see how good a job can ChatGPT 4 do here. So once I run this, right, you can see that it has written the script, and not only that, it is also explaining you, make sure you have installed on your system. So it is also letting you know that you will have to install this YTDLP, and you can install it by using command, pip command. So also we would like to install YTDLP. So it is saying you will have to install pip install YTDP. Now it is asking you, when you run the script, it will ask you to enter the video URL. Here it is. And after providing the URL, it will use YTDLF to download the version and save it with a dynamic file name to preserve the file extension. So this is how, we can write code for scripting or bash scripting in ChatGPT, right? Also, so this was one example on shell scripting. Let me also give you one example on Python. So let me show you. Say, for example, you are writing some codes on Python, right? For example, please write a code wherein write a Python code wherein it opens a CSV file named data.csv and then cleans the data by removing all the missing values in the data, and then it provides the statistics of the data. Let's see. I have asked it not very complex, but the way I have asked it is very complex. Let's see what code it writes for us. So all of you, those who know about it, it has used a very correct a package, well-known package in Python called pandas. So import pandas as PD. It is saying that you will have to import that. So it exactly knows that in order to open a CSV file and process it, pandas is one of the better packages right now. So it will read, this is the context. It can read that file, as I said. Then I said it needs to remove the missing values. It is writing that and it is removing that. And then I said you need to provide statistics of the data, and it is doing that. How many number of rows you have, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation. So it has written a code for that. What is the minimum value and maximum value? And then it is also explaining you the code. That's the beauty of ChatGPT. If you take this code and run it, I have developed applications by just copy pasting the code of ChatGPT. So here you can just copy this code, you can see here, and run it. Okay. Please write a Python code to web scrap the COVID data of India from the Government of India Health Department website. Okay, let's see how it does this. So even I have not asked, someone has asked where we want to look for a web scraping. So you see here, wow, this is just mind blowing. You see that all the correct packages, though those who have done web scraping will understand. Beautiful soup, import request. And the beauty is, I said Health Department website of Government of India. You see here, it has actually got the URL. So let's see whether this URL is correctly, curated by ChatGPT. I'm just copy pasting it. You can exactly look at that. This is the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. I didn't have to go for it. It has done it. And then it has gone to this website and understood how it can import all the active discharge death. And it has written the code for that. Which state has how many confirmed cases, recovered cases, and death. So I hope all of you are getting the beauty of this. Within a minute, not even within a minute, within few seconds, it has written a good amount of code and specifically going and customizing that code for a given website, which even I didn't know that existed. And it is the correct Government of India website. Sometimes if you're a hardcore developer, trust me, I have asked it very complex things to solve. It has done that. And sometimes we do feel redundant with the quality of coding it is able to do. Say, for example, I want to create a YouTube channel wherein I teach Python coding to college goers and prepare them for technical interviews. Please suggest what videos and content should I create. Let's see what it answers, right? So this is the core technical question that, boss, I want to create a YouTube channel. I'm teaching Python coding to college goers and they are preparing for technical interviews. Please suggest what videos and content I can prepare. So if you see here, first of all, it is validating that your idea is great. And these are the suggestions. You can create Python basics, then Python libraries and framework, teach. Just step by step, it has asked you to create what content you need to do. Now, we can also go into the detail. So, for example, I can ask ChatGPT, okay, elaborate. So, I want to say elaborate more on the first point, that is Python basics. What should be my series of videos? So, let's see that in Python basics, what should I see? Though it has given, you can include variables, data types, loops, conditionals, functions, and file handling. Let us look that. I have asked it more details. So you see here, it is now giving you more details inside the first point, that you can do introduction to Python, setting up Python, variables and data types, control flow, functions, file handling, error handling. It has gone to such detail. Okay. Not only Python. Suppose I say that write a HTML and CSS coding for a website with beige background. So I am asking it, can you write a HTML and CSS coding for a website wherein I want a beige background? So this is very random question I've asked it. Let's see what it answers. So you can see that it has actually given that, and it has also explained you how this will do the work you have asked for, right? So let me be more specific here. I can write, instead of that, make a website template. So I just want a template using HTML and CSS with the beige theme, right? So you see here, it will write the whole template. I just need to copy paste this code and modify it further according to my requirement. I hope all of you are getting the ideas, how powerful ChatGPT is and why it is important for all of us. So basically now the game is, suppose you have a developer who doesn't utilize ChatGPT and you have a developer who uses ChatGPT. So there are very high chances that the person who is using ChatGPT and getting assistance from ChatGPT for reviewing, proofreading. Okay, you can also use it for proofreading. You can copy paste your code and ask it to proofread it, test it. You know, also the turnaround time for a developer who is using ChatGPT will be much higher than for someone, you know, who is not using ChatGPT. How many of you agree with me? Please raise your hand. That in today's world, maybe it will become necessary for all of us to go through ChatGPT to have a faster turnaround. Otherwise, your job may be at, you know, risk. There are two developers. One developer may be using ChatGPT, doing it faster. And, you know, the manager may feel, okay, let me give him the other job which you are doing because you are slow and, you know, your job may be at risk. So this is the importance of ChatGPT, and I would highly encourage all of you to start learning about it. Let me give you one more example. Write a HTML and CSS code to display a picture at the top left of the website. Display a profile picture. So many a times we have to write this code, right? So here, see. So you want to display that at the top left, it will write that code. So even though I'm not a HTML expert, I'm sure this code should be very relevant. And you can see here, it has taken the space in the top left to display your profile picture. And it has given you a template for it. And within no seconds, it has written a lot of lines of code. You can have a check here. Perfect. Similarly, right, you can ask, for example, you can also ask it to write a JavaScript code, for example, code to send HTTP request. Okay. So if you look at this, it will also, so all of you, you can see that all the different coding, Python, Bash scripting, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, it is capable of writing relevant codes within no time. And not only writing code, the more important part is it will also explain you the code. Why I am writing this? Why you are, what is the basis of this? What is this? What is the relevance of this function? Everything in detail, it is creating a report. So it is not only writing the report, rewriting the code, it is also explaining you the code, right? So this way you can see that ChatGPT is quite important, right? So if you see here, upgrade to plus is nothing but a lot of time what we are using is free plan. So if the server of there is not available, it will just give you an error that we are not able to process your request now if it is a free plan. So available only when the demand is low. For example, at this point of time, if there was a lot of wait on the server of this ChatGPT, it would have given us an error. Please visit us later. But if you are a ChatGPT Plus member where you will be paying $20 a month, you will have the access to ChatGPT model even when the demand is high. Okay. Also, the response which you see in free plan, though it is very fast, it is saying you'll get more faster response in ChatGPT Plus. Okay. And also the model which we use right now, the model which free plan is using is model 3.5. With ChatGPT Plus, you will get priority access to new features. So it will use the latest GPT-4 model, and also the updates to GPT-4 model will be bought on this on priority. Okay. I hope these examples, prima facie has given you some idea that why you need to learn ChatGPT, how it works, so on and so forth. So this is about this session. I hope all of you enjoyed the session wherein I started with the introduction to ChatGPT. What is the company who is making it? Who is the competitor of ChatGPT right now? So Google is now trying to compete with a model similar to ChatGPT, which is called Bard, right? So Google is trying to create its own version. In fact, many companies are doing that, and these are called generative AI models. Or you will also see a lot of term being used as LLM, large language models. So these are called large language models. ChatGPT is one of them, and Google is now releasing it has already released Bard. I have utilized both. I feel ChatGPT is mostly better compared to Bard at this point of time. Okay. Thank you all for attending this webinar. I hope you found it useful. Thank you all. Wish you all the best. Take care.